Hey guys, this is BiXX. Welcome to another Mentoring Monday. Today I'm going to wrap up this final video of a three-part topic on imposter syndrome. A huge topic because over 70% of the population experiences imposter syndrome at least once in their life. Check out parts 1 and 2 so you'll better understand why you may have these feelings. In part 1, I talked about the 5 types of imposter syndrome. In part 2, I talked about the impact of imposter syndrome, what it looks like in your everyday life. So in part 3, I'll talk more about coping with imposter syndrome. So here we go. Certain personality traits have been linked to a higher risk of experiencing imposter syndrome. And some of these traits or characteristics that may play a role include low self-efficacy. Self-efficacy, hard to say that, refers to your belief and your ability to succeed in any given situation. I also use the word self-esteem, so in this case it'd be low self-esteem. As I mentioned before, perfectionism. This plays a significant role in imposter syndrome. You might think there's a perfect script for conversations and that you might say the wrong thing, so you don't say anything. How about you never finish anything because it has to be perfect? You might have a hard time asking for help from others and you procrastinate due to such high standards. And you may have an inability to delegate to others due to your own perfectionism. This will hold you back from managerial roles. Here's another one. Neuroticism. This is one of the 5 big personalities that's linked to the higher levels of anxiety, insecurity, tension, and guilt. Social anxiety, here's another one. Imposter syndrome and social anxiety may overlap. A person with social anxiety disorder may feel like they don't belong in any given social or performance situations. So how do we cope with imposter syndrome? To deal with imposter syndrome, try asking yourself some hard questions. What core beliefs do I hold about myself? Write these down. Do I deserve or do I believe that I'm worthy of love as I am? Loving yourself and telling yourself, I love you, it's difficult. Try it looking in the mirror, it's kind of uncomfortable. Do I need to be perfect for others to approve of me? Do I love myself as I am? If not, why not? You'll need to become comfortable with confronting some of these deeply ingrained beliefs that you have about yourself. It's not an easy thing to do. I always say, if you don't go within, you go without. Here's some techniques. Share your feelings with people that you trust. I do this quite a bit, have my inner circle. Talk about what you're feeling. Irrational beliefs and being alone too long with your thoughts tend to fester when they're hidden and not talked about. People that stay home all the time and work and get too alone with their thoughts, not a good situation. Focus on others, trying to help others in the same situation as you. This will help you build confidence and skills in your own abilities. Access your abilities. If you've had long-held beliefs about your incompetence in social performance situations, make a realistic assessment of your abilities. Write down your accomplishments and what you're good at. Then if you compare what you're good at to your self-assessment, you might be surprised. You might build some confidence. Take baby steps. Don't focus on doing things perfectly, but rather do things reasonably and well, and then reward yourself for taking action. Question your thoughts as you start to access your abilities and take baby steps. Question whether your thoughts are real. Are they rational? Many thoughts are not reality, they're just thoughts. Does it make sense to believe that you're a fraud given everything that you know? Stop comparing. I say this a lot. Every time you compare yourself to others in a social situation or in your performance, you'll find some fault with yourself. This fuels the negative self-talk that you're not good enough or that you're not belonging. Only compare yourself with how you've grown since last week or last month or last year. This will make you feel better about yourself. Comparing to others is a guaranteed road to unhappiness. Here's one that's pretty much common sense. Use social media moderately. We know that the overuse of social media may be related to feelings of inferiority. Here's a big one. If you try to portray an image on social media that doesn't match who you really are, that's impossible to achieve. It'll only make your feelings of being a fraud much worse. Stop fighting your feelings. Don't fight the feelings of not belonging. Instead, try to learn from them and accept them. It's only when you accept these feelings that you can start to unravel your core beliefs that you're holding back. For example, when I learned that I suffer from superperson syndrome, which is always having to outwork everyone, I finally realized this approach causes me more stress when I'm not perfect. And truth is, I'm not perfect, and I'll never be perfect. No one's perfect. It's okay not to work so hard and not to be perfect. So refuse to let it hold you back. No matter how much you feel like you're a fraud or you don't belong, don't let anyone stop you from pursuing your goals. Keep going and refuse to be stopped. My track, Yes I Can, sends this very message. For me, when I hear no, that's when the fun begins. This is when your clear vision takes over. You focus on the end result and not the obstacles. Naming the fear can knock the wind out of it, because these are internal beliefs that don't have anything to do with actual performance or abilities. So you can learn anything as long as you're determined. Remember that if you're feeling like an imposter, it means that you have some degree of success in your life that you're attributing to luck. I don't think luck has a whole lot to do with hard work, although I always say the harder you work, the luckier you get, or luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So look at what you've accomplished in your life and be grateful for your achievements. Don't hold back by your fear of being found out. No one's gonna find you out. Let your guard down and let others to see the real you. There's great strength through vulnerability. I'm gonna say that again. There's great strength through vulnerability. Everyone I've ever met is dealing with their own issues. Don't over-magnify your self-doubts, because we all have them in one way or another. And most people don't care because they're fighting their own battles. One of the things I've always done most of my adult life is to surround myself with people who believe in me and give me honest feedback. When I have my self-doubts, my inner circle usually helps me shift my focus to the good things that I've done in my life. My last comment is, if you suffer from extreme imposter syndrome, you may want to get some professional help, maybe from a therapist, and it's totally okay to seek help. It means you have a growth mindset and you want to gain a better understanding and perspective on your thoughts. That includes this very long 3-part series, very important series on imposter syndrome. It was a huge and very important topic. I hope this has helped you get a better understanding of your thoughts and your feelings. Just knowing that I fall into superperson and the perfectionist categories of imposter syndrome helps me better understand it and accept me for who I am. So what categories do you fall into? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you again in 2 weeks, and remember, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Cheers.